And I just want to talk a little bit about when hard things happen, when negative things happen, when the things are happening that you never hoped for or desired. What kind of thought processes can carry you through? My name is Coach Veronica Marie, and I do things like this, talk in the dark. I really like to do podcasts. I really like YouTube as a space to plant my information for people to find it when they need it. If you find you would like one-on-one coaching, you can find me on my website at veronicamarie.com. We can also connect on social media platforms, just hashtag Veronica Marie. So let's get started, shall we? When hard things happen, what can we do? What in the world can we do? I just need to get a sip of water before I start. Maybe I'll give y'all a tiny bit of light. How about that? Let's see how I feel about that. Just a tiny bit. All right, so we live in this world where things happen. Some things that are so beautiful, things that we have always hoped for, and also things that we never could have imagined. And how are we supposed to navigate those spaces while still being hopeful, while still being magical, while still being creative? That's the question. And I think there are a few key ideas that we must hold close to our heart always, not just when the things are happening, but even outside of those situations. And one of those things is the world is not really happening all because of my desire. What does that mean? We have universal orchestration, where we fit in the entire collective. We have some role that we play or some contribution. We also receive, or I would say inherit, collective traits of humanity, right? Then there's the collectives. If we talk about the nation, there's a collective identity that we belong to. If we boil it down to state, city, region, county, family, neighborhood, right? So we have all these roles that we play in the greater collective. And then there's our individual life path that we must consider, right? And so when I say that everything is not operating according to our desires, that's what I mean. Our individual desires are important in the scope of our existence, and it radiates into the orchestration of universal existence. But also, as we move outward from self into the collective, that frequency of desire merges with a lot more, a lot of other frequencies, right? It's more concentrated as it's close to us. So what that means is there are some things happening universally that I'm not controlling as the human called Veronica. There's some things happening in my family that I am not controlling as the human known as Veronica, but on a universal cosmic level, I am doing that because we all are one mind. Hope I'm making sense. So when those cosmic things that are going on, when they're universal things going on, when there are collective things and things in my region, my state, my family are going on. The question is, what is the extent of my creative ability, both in theory and practically? In other words, what can I shift? What can I create? What can I release? What can I become? Right? And that is happening in every moment that I exist. So if everything is not happening according to my desire, then I got to drill down to what actually is happening according to my desire. I remember years ago listening to, I think it was Miles Monroe, and he said that someone has lied to us. And he said, they told us that this life was supposed to be easy, and somehow we believe that. And I want to paraphrase that. Somehow we've come to believe that all of life is supposed to go according to our desires. And we have believed that, but that is not the way things operate. There are plenty of things going on that we don't want. There are plenty of things going on that I don't want. What am I supposed to do about that? Well, a universal truth that I live by and teach often is everything is as it should be. Not everything is as I want it to be. Not everything is as I would create it to be, but everything is as it should be, right? And everything is as it should be. I want to extend that out for my evolution and the evolution of humanity. So that means I'm participating in the evolution of the collective according to my role, my journey, my life path. And so if a thing happens to be on my life path, it's supposed to be there. I'm not saying I like it again, but it is supposed to be there. And so since it's here, what is my point of ascension, right? The point of ascension lies in recognizing, what are my fears? What am I afraid of? Where can I evolve in my mindset? How can I more harmonize with universal truth in this? Those are relevant questions. The other questions reside in a spiritual practice that is important to me. And I share this often with my clients and also on my social media platforms. It's a simple prayer. And I derive this prayer from the prayer that we know as the serenity prayer. Because every dilemma or every situation that we don't want is an opportunity for evolution and therefore a spiritual practice. And the question of, and you know, if I were you, I would really listen to this, Craig, because these things happen to all of us, and you might be happy that you were actually on this live to hear it. Okay. One day you might go, I remember that person on their live was talking and I was joking, but I really needed that information, so I give thanks. So here's the prayer, right? What do I need to see that I don't already see? We have to come to understand that even though there are things that we want and things that we don't want, there are also things that we cannot see, right? The things that we can't see that we actually need to see. And so we open our awareness to those things by saying, what is it that I need to see that I don't already see? There are things that we need to know that we don't already know. And that's what I meant when I said we need to look and see where we need to shift in our mindsets. Sometimes we have a fixed mindset that applied in our past, but it no longer applies now. We have to be willing to update our minds like we update our computer files. So, what is it that I need to know that I don't already know? And there's a lot we don't already know. So, instead of falling into the pit of hopelessness or disdain or distress, recognize that we're feeling that way and begin to seek answers, right? What do I need to hear that I don't already hear, right? What do I need to feel that I don't already feel? What new thing am I becoming in this? I was listening to a recording today that was talking about the mind and how the mind is on a plane of its own. We generally associate the mind with the brain and the brain with the body, but our mind is not in our body. It's on its own plane because it's not a physical entity, right? So when we're upgrading our mind, we're upgrading the central unit that governs our life here. And with every situation, there is a mind upgrade for us, right? When I'm going through something that I don't like, what kind of mind do I need to triumph? What kind of mind do I need here to grow forward? What kind of mind do I need to exist outside of anxiety in peace? What kind of mind can create joy, right? We're talking about what can we do when things are happening that we don't want to happen? What is in my creative power to shift, right? And in that prayer and in that thought process, there's this undercurrent of acceptance. And not acceptance that things have to stay the way that they are, but acceptance that since they are how they are, I'm determined to create something in it for me, something from it for me, something with it for me, right? When things are happening that we don't want and the feelings are intense, since this is happening, what can bring me into greater peace as it is happening? These are relevant questions. And that's what I came to share this morning. So I pray this finds you and hits you in the space exactly where it's needed. I normally don't go live on YouTube. I'm usually live on my other platforms because my audience is there. But I intend to expand, and so I am here and in gratitude for you, those who exist. And if you are watching this and you found it to be helpful, please do consider subscribing. Consider sharing this live with a friend. If you find you need one-on-one coaching, coaching is available. You would just sign up for my website, on my website at veronicamarie.com. And so, I've been on YouTube long enough just kind of watching creators and, going live from time to time myself to realize that there's a lot of negative energy that comes in. And I'm not sure exactly why it happens on YouTube because it rarely happens on those other platforms. So I think maybe it's just the sheer amount of people who participate on YouTube. I'm not sure. But you waste your time really commenting for me because it's irrelevant to the topic I'm speaking on. But I do invite those who are truly interested in growing, healing, becoming a version of yourself that really satisfies you. Okay. All right. It's the old Twitter. I never went live on Twitter. I don't even have a Twitter account. Maybe I should. I have to see how one grows on Twitter. Okay. All right. So for now, y'all have a beautiful morning, and I'll come back soon. It's not Twitter anymore. Oh, that's what X is, right? That I didn't know. So I would be on Instagram and I could see the option to share something on X, but I had no clue what it was. Are you joking? Are you serious? You have YouTube and X. So I have a question for you, E. Craig. I have a question since I have you here. Oh, you don't support Zuckerberg. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so why did you come on my live in that energy that you came on? Because I wasn't promoting that or talking about that, and now you're being civil. So what made you come on and do that? I'm curious. When you came on, you heard me talking about something serious and you started joking. And it seems like you're a pretty cool individual. So I wonder what made you do that. And that might give me a clue as to why some people do that because it's popular on YouTube, common. That's good. I don't think you could really see me. You didn't catch on the content. Okay, so you just pop on people's youth live and joke until you find out what the content is. Is that what it is? I'm glad you stopped. I really am. Because what I do is I stop looking at the screen. And that way I don't really worry about it that much. Usually when I go live on YouTube, I go from another platform so I can't even see the live comments. I usually prefer that. Sometimes you joke, sometimes you contribute. I see. Hmm. All right. Well, okay. Well, good. Good. All right. Well, y'all have a beautiful day. Thanks for sitting in with me. I hope something I said affected you in positive ways, and you'll hear from me soon. Bye now.